Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to social science class. In previous class, we were discussing about the Guptas and Vardhanas from history. Today, we shall continue the same lesson. In previous class, we learned about the important Gupta rulers and their political achievements, Gupta's contribution to literature and science, and expansion of Gupta Empire. In today's class, let us learn about scientists of the Gupta period, the Vardhanas, administration of Vardhanas, and Nalanda Ancient University. In today's class, as I have told you about the great scientist of Gupta period, we shall discuss now. First, we are going to discuss about Dhanvantari. Dhanvantari, if you see, he was a famous scholar in the field of medicine, and he was a specialist in Ayurveda, and he is called as father of Indian medicine, and his chief contribution or main contribution to the medical field has been the Ayurvedic dictionary. The Ayurvedic dictionary which he has given or he has written is the chief contribution of Dhanvantari, and he is called as the father of Indian medicine. And next is about Charaka. Maharishi Charaka, if you see, Maharishi Charaka was a medical scientist, and his major contribution to the field of medicine has been the Charaka Samhita, the greatest treatise on medical treatment of the human body, and gave the world unique gift of freedom from disease. Maharishi Charaka traveled extensively, and based on his personal experiences, he has written Charaka Samhita. And next is about Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta was a famous astronomer and a mathematician, and he is an important scientist who came after Varahamihira. His contribution to astronomy and mathematics has been highly important, and for this reason, the Aryabhatta Award is being presented by the Indian government to great scientists. And even the first Indian satellite have been named after Aryabhatta. And he is believed to have invented the zero, and he was the first Indian to master algebra. And not only that, and he reiterated the fact that solar and lunar eclipses happens due to the rotation of the earth, not due to Rahu. And this rotation of the earth on its own axis and the revolution of the earth in its orbits around the sun are the reasons for the solar and lunar eclipses, which was reiterated by Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta was a Hindu scientist mathematician who has given the concepts regarding zero, pi, trigonometry, motions of the solar system, and eclipses. Next is about Sushruta, who was a surgeon. Sushruta was a great surgeon, and he was the first Indian who explained about the process of surgery. And he was recorded that in those days, and he used to have a separate wing to treat the soldiers. Like in modern time surgery, Sushruta was a well-known surgeon of yesteryears, and he had contributed significantly to the field of surgery, and he was called as founding father of surgery, Maharishi Sushruta, and he was the author of the best and outstanding commentary on medical science of surgery. And he has contributed his writings called Sushruta Samhita, which is considered to be the founding father of this important branch. The definition of a complete healthy person given by him is universally accepted. The definition of a complete healthy person given by him is universally accepted. Next is about Varahamihira, who was a famous astronomer, a famous Indian astrologer, mathematician, and astronomer was Varahamihira, one of the 9 gems in the court of King Vikramaditya. He has written a book called Pancha Siddhantika, which is considered as the Bible in the field of astronomy. So in the field of astronomy, the book called Pancha Siddhantika is considered as a Bible. In addition to this, he has written Brihat Samhita, Brihat Jataka and Laghu Jataka. And he was a scholar in many fields like astronomy, astrology, geography and meteorology. So these 5 scientists or the great scientists were belonging to Gupta period. Now let's learn about the Vardhanas, the empire of Vardhanas. The Gupta Empire, which rose to power in 4th century AD, flourished for around 2 centuries. However, around 6th century AD, the Gupta Empire became weak and started disintegrating. This caused many small kingdoms to rise and prosper. The Vardhana kingdom of Tanishwar in present-day Haryana was one of them. The Vardhana dynasty began ruling from the 6th century. The Chinese traveler Huanswang writings, Bana's Harshacharita and some copper inscriptions throw light upon this period. Pushyabhuti is the founder of this dynasty. Thus, this dynasty is called as Pushyabhuti or Vardhana dynasty. According to Harshacharita, which was composed by the court poet Banabhatta, the family was known as Pushyabhuti dynasty. Prabhakara Vardhana and Harshavardhana are the prominent kings of this dynasty. Harsha became the king of Tanishwar after the death of his father, Prabhakara Vardhana, and his brother Rajyavardhana. The king of Kanauj was married to his sister Rajyashri. When the king of Kanauj was killed by the king Shashanka of Bengal, King Harsha captured Kanauj and attacked the king of Bengal. Thus, he brought Bengal and Magadha under his rule. The Kannada king of the Chalukyas, Pulikeshi II, did not let him to advance beyond the Narmada river in the south. And this was recorded by the court poet Ravi Kirti, has immortalized this achievement of Pulikeshi II in his Prashasti, expressing how the exultation of the king Harsha's joy dried up on account of this defeat. The king ruled with the assistance of Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers were Mahasandhi Vigraha, negotiator, Mahabaladikrita, military general, Bogapati, tax official, and Duta. They were the bureaucracy who were assisting the king. For the purpose of governance of the kingdom was divided into provinces. Feudatory chiefs were appointed and given lands or grama in the lieu of land tax and support of their armies during war. Land tax was a major source of income of the kingdom. The feudatory chiefs became independent when the king became weak. Buddhism was given prominence by King Harsha. This is seen even in the writings of Huanswang. The Buddhist Nalanda University enjoyed royal patronage and was full of activity during this period. And next, let's learn about Nalanda University. Nalanda University. Buddha's followers believed that Nalanda was the name of Buddha in his previous birth. This is famous as an ancient university. Buddha had visited Nalanda. The first residential international university of the world is Nalanda University, which was founded in the 5th century AD by the Gupta Empire, which was known as the ancient seat of learning, which became the crown jewel of the development of Buddhism in India and the world. Many eminent personalities have contributed to this university. For example, Kumaragupta had made contribution to a fine art school here. Nagarjuna, the chief exponent of middle path, and Dinnaga and Dharmapala were the other famous scholars. And the King Harshavardhana gifted a 25-meter tall bronze image of Buddha to Nalanda University. And the interesting facts about this university are, there were rigorous oral entry examination was conducted by the erudite gatekeepers, and many students were turned away. To study in this university was a matter of great pride. However, no degree was granted nor a specific period of study required. The marks measured time by a water clock. Students received explanations by discourse. Separate schools of debate were there, and talented scholars distinguished conspicuously. Muslim Emperor Bakhtiyar Khilji destroyed the capital of knowledge, and the Khilji asked his tenants to burn this capital of knowledge. The 3 libraries of Nalanda, which were so large that they went on burning for 6 months. Children, in today's class, we have learnt about the 5 scientists of Gupta period and the Vardhanas, administration of Vardhanas, and about Nalanda University we have learnt. Children, and today's home assignment is, there are 6 questions given here, and I will be dictating you the answer. Refer your textbook, go through the video and listen properly the answers. Write down the answers in your home assignment book. I have noticed in the previous home assignment, though I have dictated, many of you have written wrong answers. Almost 20 students, I have informed them to rewrite the answers after listening the video properly. But none of the students turned back. That means they have not rewritten the answers and given to me. So I repeatedly saying you, listen properly the answers, go through the textbook before writing the home assignment, and watch this video carefully and write the answers. I know very well these answers are not there in your workbook or else in your answer key. So once if you are going through the textbook, you can analyze the answer properly and can write those. Now let's see about the home assignment. The first question is, who is called as the father of Indian medicine? Dhanvantari is called as the father of Indian medicine. Who is called as the father of Indian medicine? Dhanvantari is called as the father of Indian medicine. Next, write a note on Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta was a famous astronomer and mathematician. The first Indian satellite have been named after Aryabhatta. He is believed to have invented the zero, and he was the first Indian to master algebra. And he reiterated the fact that solar and lunar eclipses happens due to the rotation of Earth on its own axis and revolution of the Earth in its orbit around the Sun. I repeat the same answer about Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta was a famous astronomer and mathematician. The first Indian satellite have been named after Aryabhatta. He is believed to have invented the zero. He was the first Indian to master algebra. He reiterated the fact that solar and lunar eclipses happens due to the rotation of Earth on its own axis and revolution of the Earth in its orbit around the Sun. Third question. Who wrote Panchasiddhantika? Panchasiddhantika was written by Varahamihira. The answer is Panchasiddhantika was written by Varahamihira. Fourth question. Name the important kings among Vardhanas. The important kings among Vardhanas are Prabhakara Vardhana and Harshavardhana. The important kings among Vardhanas are Prabhakara Vardhana and Harshavardhana. Fifth question. Who was a Chinese traveler visited Nalanda University? Huanshuang was a Chinese traveler visited Nalanda University. Answer is Huanshuang was a Chinese traveler visited Nalanda University. Sixth question. Who were the ministers assisting King Harshavardhana? Answer. The King Harshavardhana was assisted by Mahasandhi Vigraha, that is negotiator, Mahabaladikrita, military general, Bogapati, tax official, and Duta. I repeat the answer. The King Harshavardhana was assisted by Mahasandhi Vigraha, the negotiator, Mahabaladikrita, military general, Bogapatti, tax official, and Duta. Now let's move on to workbook assignment. Children, in your workbook, page number 43, in that first main complete the following, you have to write question number 6. And in page number 43, second main, answer the following. Question number 3, you have to write. Children, here in the answer key, page number 12, if you see in the page number 12, second main fourth answer is given. That is the answer of question number 3. Did you get that? Page number 12 in answer key. Second main fourth answer is the answer of question number 3 in workbook. So while writing, you just change the number there. So make the fourth one as third one and write that as your answer. If you want, I'll dictate you the answer now. You can refer your answer key. The king's rule was assisted by the council of ministers. The bureaucracy consisted of the Mahasandhi Vigraha, negotiator, Mahabaladikrita, military general, Bogapatti, tax official, and Duta. The kingdom had been divided into provinces. Land tax was a major source of income for the kingdom. Feudatory chiefs paid tribute to the king. The king gave them land, grama, and in return got the help of their armies. So this is the answer which you are supposed to write for question number 3. And in page number 44, fill in the blanks question number 4 and 5. In page number 45, third main, complete the relationship question number 4 and 5 you have to write. And in page number 45 and 46, fourth main, answer the following briefly question number 1 to 4 you have to write. So refer the answer key and write the answers neatly and clearly. And if you are able to write on your own, you are welcome to write on your own. But the answer should match with. Understood? Thank you, children. In the next class, that is on Thursday, I'll be conducting you the Zoom online class. The timings I will inform you on Wednesday. And the link will be sent to you on Thursday. Thank you, children.